My name is Kevin Bourke. I'm a certified financial planner professional and author of the book Make Your Money Last a Lifetime. Credit card default. First of all, there is something called a charge-off. What happens is when you stop paying on your credit card, the credit card company, of course, is going to call you about it. They're going to send you letters about it. They're going to be pretty aggressive about trying to get their money back. But at some point, they're going to realize that that's impossible if you're not paying. And so at that point, they're going to use it as a charge-off. So they get some sort of tax deduction for that. But that does not mean that your obligation has gone away. Rather, what happens at that point, it's usually about 6 months, the credit card company will turn you over to a collection agency. Now, if you felt like the original company was aggressive, the collection agency will be even more aggressive. Now, there are some rules in place to protect you. It used to be predatory, but now there's some rules to protect you from collection agencies. They can only go so far, and you do have rights. But nevertheless, they're going to try their best to get you to pay that debt off. And then, of course, if they are able to collect that debt, they get to keep a certain percentage of it. Finally, if this doesn't work, there is something called a judgment. And that is where the collection agency will take you to court and they will get the judge, who, if you owe the money, will probably side with the collection agency to issue a judgment against you. In that case, they could garnish your wage, they could attach your bank account. There's any number of things that they can do in order to receive their payment. Now, all along the way, it's probably obvious, but your credit score can be damaged pretty badly. And so when you miss even one payment, your credit score goes down. Imagine if it's gone as far as it's been charged off, it's gone to collections, and now there's a judgment. So your credit score is definitely going to be damaged. This is another consequence of defaulting on a credit card. It may even be that you're forced into bankruptcy simply because you can't afford to live after having this judgment placed against you. So these are the consequences, again, of a credit card default. And what I would encourage you to do is, if you've had problems with credit cards, and in recent years it's been very common with the difficulties the economy's been through, start to rebuild your credit. And the way you do that is you open a small credit account when you're able. After all this stuff is taken care of, you start a small account if you're able, and you start to pay your payments on time. Perhaps you even have to get a secured credit card, which is where you place money in an account and then you charge against that account. But if you can show a history of making regular payments, then you can begin to rebuild your credit. So it's certainly not to be taken lightly. This is what happens. This is the consequence of when you default on your credit cards.